I have a background in arts. I studied fashion and design and then fine art, and then went back to university to study crafts, 3D design, and then had a module in glass, and that kind of changed everything. I found the thing that I really was so passionate about that it changed everything for me for the future, which meant a whole new process to learn. The Glass Lab started during the pandemic, and it was a project really that I wanted to start to bring people back working together. People were struggling, not able to find a way to carry on creating work and also speaking to other artists. There was a lot of Zoom going on, but not any practical sort of things which artists, it's important for them to use their hands, mind, feeling, everything to go into something. So the Glass Lab started as a project. First it was an initial thought, and then it started to gain some momentum, and realised this could be a perfect time to start this project. We were very lucky to receive funding from the Arts Council. We had a huge amount of people applying, and we chose 6 artists and 12 scholarships we gave. We wanted to expand who was using glass in the glass world. We wanted to encourage ethnic diversity, females, people who were finding it very difficult to find a way of creating. Perhaps they were struggling with studio space or have these new projects that they wanted to create, didn't know where to go. The 6 chosen were chosen purely on their project proposal, which brought new ideas to glass. They had a passion for bringing something into their work, which was a new material, and what kind of alchemy could they do with the glass material. We had a ceramicist, we had a fine artist, we had a projection artist, we had a milliner. It covered quite a few things, which was quite interesting because this whole new way of working for them, not only was it a new material, it was a new way of trying to immerse that into their other materials.
My name is Istabrak. In English, it's easier to say Estabrak.
My name is Chuting Lee.
My name is Halim Kassel.
Johnny Briggs.
My name is Virna Pasquinelli.
My background, I was training as a designer in footwear and accessories. I also did some performance with my craft that I made in like a shoe sculpture a few years ago. I'm an artist and I want to keep developing my art and craft.
I like to work on photography. I find that it's a medium where it's inescapably about lying, where if there's something even slightly strange about an image, we assume it to be digitally manipulated. And I quite like that uncertainty, because for me it takes me back to the childhood mindset of not knowing what's real and what's not. Yeah, there are things that I can say with work that I can't necessarily say through words.
I consider myself a collector of skills. What I do is I enjoy helping to create experiences of vulnerability and honesty with people, and I work a lot with communities. I've used my art really as therapy. Yeah, it's really helped me to exist in the person that I am.
I'm a hat maker and designer for various theatre productions. I love hat making because it encapsulates a variety of crafts, but everything needs to look like it's been made by magic. So the details is what's very important in hat making.
My work is very connected and inspired by nature and architecture, and my love of maths and geometry and pattern.
A few years ago, I discovered this material glass, and I went to a few classes and I realized it's very interesting. It's really fragile and it's extremely beautiful but strong. it's fragile in the same time.
For some reason, I saw this ad and I just thought, this is calling me at this time. Glass is something, a medium, an element that has so much similarity with water. To be honest, I was really interested in that fine line that exists with water and exists with glass, where it's so beautifully tranquil on so many levels and transparent, and it works with light and shadow, and it's a body in itself, both water and glass. But then on the other side of it, it is incredibly dangerous and it has its own mind.
I've always wanted to work in glass, and when I went to university it was actually my first choice, but I kind of swapped onto ceramics. It was always kind of in me to want to do glass. As my career's progressed, I think that kind of investigation kind of deepened in me.
The mystery of it was just what kind of brought me to it. We see glass every day, but have you ever asked, what's glass? When I had this idea, I wanted to try sculptures, and I had an idea in mind, and I just couldn't think of any other materials that would translate the idea that I had, because I like the relationships with transparency, colors and light.
I think the failures have their challenges. Yeah, especially through being around Fias and Jade and sort of absorbing their methodology and their sort of comfort with failure. Yeah, I've started to absorb a bit of that approach, which I think has been really healthy. Yeah, I've let go a bit more, and it's felt in some ways almost like being in a retreat. Yeah, making around people is something that I've really missed over the pandemic. And I don't think I realised how much I missed it until I was back within it. And to make messily again as well, that there's only so much mess that I can make at home.
The most difficult part was the waiting for the glass to come out of the kiln. It's like an excruciating, stressful waiting, because you never know like how things gonna come out, if they're gonna come out, when they're gonna come out. Because not having worked with the material before, you don't know. Like you have this idea in mind, and then it comes out and like, this is not what I was expecting.
The difficult part is I'm actually pregnant. I'm 6 months now. I don't know what's going to happen, what my baby feels. So the best part of working here is to learn a lot from different artists, because everyone's so different. I'm very inspired by every individual life. I never feel there's a boundary to do things I wanted. I feel it's really supported.
Okay, the best and difficult probably lies on that same line that the water and the glass lie on, that seesaw of this beauty and this danger. Yeah, I would say that on a personal level, it's really offered me a space that I didn't realize I needed before I came. I didn't realize I was doing whilst creating. And then I've come to the end of it where I'm like, wow, this is very powerful, very difficult. And I think that the more now cold work that is coming, that's going to add elements that I probably didn't even think of as well. On the other end of it is this difficulty, I guess, of being presented with love, trauma, belonging, these subjects, family structures, domestic existence, domestic violence.
I really admire how Fias and Jade are resilient to failure, that it just seems to go over their head. And I think I can learn a lot from that. They're so proactive in thinking, let's try a different type of glass, or let's try a different kiln or a different firing process. I'm also making a mask that closes around my foot, and it fits my foot to its exact proportion. It's got my dad's nose and chin on it. It'll be out of lead crystal, so it'll be really heavy and weight my foot to the ground. And it'll be out of a material that's often used for like crystal balls, this attempt to see into the future. But then also a lot of the work sort of looks to my past as a means to look to the future more clearly. Like sometimes we have to look back to look forward.
I felt a little bit like a kid at a playground. I don't know, it was always really exciting. And I had no experience in anything like this. Fias and Jade, they're very good at explaining things and made it look so easy, you know. They never made you feel like that because you had no experience, whatever you had in your mind was impossible. You just had to try and see for yourself. I loved being here, and this experience has been one of the best experiences in my life.
It's been amazing, as this is my first residency. First of all, the Strauss is an amazing place to stay, and then we came in summer, July, and flowers blossom. Mood is really good, and then also the studio, it got everything, all the equipment. I feel really relaxed in the same time. Work really hard with my ideas, and then trying to push my ideas, and then like learning a lot from Fias and then from all the other artists, and it's been amazing every day.
It's been wonderful being in a space which is so well equipped with wonderful staff, and working with Fias, who's very experienced, and working with other artists as well during the residency, so that's quite fun, because normally when I'm working it's quite solitary.
Okay, working in the Glass Lab is like all my dreams come true in a lot of ways. Why? My heart initially was in sculpture. That's how I really started with when I was studying in school. I loved sculpture, but it's an expensive career path to go down, like most creative industries. But also it's something that required a lot of resources, and it's not easily accessible, let's say. So when I came to the Glass Lab, firstly I didn't know what to expect, but you use so many processes in order to get to the end result. You use wax, you use clay, you use paper, drawing, plaster, wood. I've been molding these hearts consistently. They're based on a real pig's heart, which is the closest to a human's heart, one, but also Islamically and culturally I come from a Muslim background. You know, pig is haram, which is it's forbidden, and is considered negis, which is like dirty. This element of using this heart to represent potentially my heart, working with this concept of almost like manipulating this heart with my own hands, has been a tool of therapy for me that I've never experienced through any other type of therapy that I've done. I've done a number of residencies now, and I would say that this is one of like the most generous in regards to resources. Yeah, it's really been a phenomenal experience, and I'm gonna go away with not just being able to work with glass and having all these skills that I believe I'm good at and I really enjoy, but work that really means such a significant thing at this point in my life and in my career, and that is priceless.